Most people don't fail because they aren't talented. They fail because they're pretending. Pretending to be confident, pretending to be ready, and pretending to believe in themselves. Though, for a while, it works. You smile. You posture. You repeat affirmations you don't feel. People applaud the version of you that isn't real. But deep down, you feel it. That subtle crack in your confidence, that quiet fear that one day, everything you've built will collapse, because it wasn't built on truth. This video is not about confidence. It's not about motivation, and it's definitely not about lying to yourself until success shows up. This is about something far more dangerous. This is about authentic self-belief. The kind that doesn't collapse when nobody is watching. The kind that doesn't need applause. The kind that survives failure, silence, or doubt. And once you build it, your life never moves the same way again. Fake it till you make it was never meant to be permanent. It was advice designed for short-term courage, not a lifelong identity. But somewhere along the way, people misunderstood it. They started living inside the mask. They trained themselves to say yes when they meant no, look confident while feeling empty, or chase validation instead of alignment. But here's the problem: your brain is not stupid. Every time you fake confidence, your nervous system notices the lie. Every time you act bold without internal grounding, your body tightens. Every time you succeed without believing you deserve it, then anxiety grows. That's why so many successful people secretly feel like frauds. Not because they aren't capable, but because their success was built without internal permission. Authentic self-belief is not hype, and it's not shouting affirmations into the mirror. It's identity alignment. Your mind asks one question before it releases energy: is this person being real? If the answer is no, you experience resistance, procrastination, self-sabotage, burnout, or imposter syndrome. But when belief is authentic, something changes. You move slower, but stronger. You stop chasing and start choosing. You stop performing and start becoming. Authentic self-belief is built when your values match your actions, your goals match your nervous system, and your identity grows at the same pace as your ambition. This is why quiet people often outlast loud ones, and also this is why grounded individuals scale faster than charismatic pretenders. Now, think about the most confident person you've ever met. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, but the one who didn't need to explain themselves. That one that spoke slowly, listened deeply, and they didn't rush decisions. That confidence didn't come from pretending, it came from self-trust. They trusted themselves because they knew their limits. They honored their word to themselves. They had failed before and survived. You must know that authentic belief is born in private victories, not public applause. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are addicted to external validation, likes, approval, and recognition. Validation feels easier than belief, because belief requires responsibility. Once you truly believe in yourself, you can't blame others, you can't hide behind excuses, and you can't pretend you don't know better. Authentic self-belief removes your escape routes, and that's why people avoid it. In the next part, we are going deeper. We'll expose why your brain resists real belief, how childhood conditioning shapes fake confidence, and the identity fracture that keeps people stuck for decades. Once you understand that fracture, you can finally heal it. And when you do, you won't need to fake anything ever again. No one wakes up one day and decides to be fake. It starts quietly. When you were younger, you learned something powerful without realizing it. Things like, some versions of me are accepted, and some are not. So you adapted. You learned when to speak, when to stay quiet, when to hide emotions, and when to perform strength. Each adaptation made you safer. Each one also moved you further away from yourself. Over time, you didn't lose confidence, you split it. And there became the you that performs and the part of you that feels. Fake confidence is not arrogance, it's protection. And until people understand that, they keep attacking the symptom instead of healing the cause. Inside most people are two identities. The one who they believe they should be, and the one they believe they actually are. When these two are not aligned, belief becomes unstable. You can achieve success, but it won't feel safe. You can get praise, but it won't feel deserved. You can grow, but something inside resists. This is why people sabotage progress right before breakthroughs. Your nervous system doesn't block success, it blocks incongruence. If your growth outpaces your identity, your body panics. And panic looks like procrastination, sudden doubt, emotional exhaustion, disappearing right when momentum builds. Here's something most people never hear. Confidence doesn't fail under pressure. Inauthentic confidence does, and pressure doesn't create weakness. It reveals what was already unstable. That's why loud confidence disappears in crisis. Flashy motivation collapses under silence. Hype dies when results take time. Authentic self-belief is quiet because it doesn't need to perform. It's rooted in self-honesty, emotional regulation, and internal standards. This is the confidence that survives failure. You can say, "I believe in myself." But your nervous system asks, do your actions agree? Belief is not what you say, it's what your body expects. If your body expects rejection, failure, or shame, no affirmation will override that. That's why authentic self-belief is trained, not declared, and it's built through keeping small promises to yourself, choosing discomfort voluntarily, aligning actions with values. Each aligned action sends one message to the brain: I can trust this person. And trust is the foundation of belief. There's always a moment, not loud, not dramatic, but a quiet moment where you realize, I'm tired of pretending. You tired of pretending to be strong, pretending to be confident, and pretending to be okay. That moment is painful, but it's powerful, because authenticity begins when performance ends. In the next part, we'll get practical, but not shallow. We'll break down how to rebuild belief without hype, how to realign identity and ambition, lastly, how to become dangerous without pretending. This is where transformation becomes irreversible. Authentic self-belief is not built in big moments. It's built in the smallest, most boring decisions nobody applauds. Most people wait for confidence to show up before they act. That's backward. You must know that belief follows evidence, and evidence is created by consistency, not intensity. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, choose honesty over image, or act even when it's uncomfortable, your brain updates its model of who you are. It stops asking, can this person handle life? And starts saying, this person is reliable. That's belief. Self-belief is self-trust, and trust is built through repetition, not emotion. Start small, painfully small. Not, I'll change my whole life, but I'll do what I said I'd do today. When you miss a promise, you don't self-attack, you don't dramatize, but you repair. Repair builds trust faster than perfection ever could. This is why emotionally mature people feel grounded. They don't pretend to be perfect, they know how to recover. Here's the uncomfortable truth: the version of you that survived your past cannot lead your future. Your old identity was built for safety. Your new identity must be built for growth. This is where most people get stuck. They say, I want more, but they still think like someone protecting less. Growth demands new standards, new boundaries, new self-expectations, and that feels like loss. But it's not. It's integration. Once you stop faking confidence, something scary happens. People see you. Not the performance, not the mask, but you. And some won't like it. Authentic self-belief accepts that risk, because being misunderstood is less painful than being fake. This is why truly confident people don't chase approval. They've already approved themselves. There's a shift that happens quietly. You stop asking, am I enough? And start asking, is this aligned? Your decisions slow down, but sharpen. Your energy stops leaking. Your life becomes simpler, but stronger. This is the point where discipline feels lighter, focus feels natural, and success feels earned, not stolen. In the final part, we'll address the last barrier, the one nobody talks about. The moment when belief is real, alignment is solid, but fear still whispers. Because building authentic self-belief isn't about becoming fearless. It's about becoming self-led. Here's what nobody tells you. Fear doesn't disappear when belief becomes real. It changes form. Early fear says, what if I fail? Later fear says, what if I succeed and can't go back? This is the fear of irreversibility. Once you're authentic, you can't unsee yourself. You can't go back to pretending. You can't hide behind masks. That's why growth feels heavy right before it feels free. Most people chase confidence. The grounded chase self-leadership. Self-leadership means you move even when emotions resist. You choose long-term alignment over short-term comfort, and you stop negotiating with your lower impulses. This is where belief becomes automatic. You no longer ask, "Do I believe in myself?" Your actions answer for you. Belief collapses when identity outpaces structure. That's why people relapse. To protect authentic self-belief, you must keep your routine simple, revisit your values often, and reduce exposure to comparison. You don't need constant inspiration. You need consistency with meaning. Silence is part of growth. Boredom is part of mastery. Repetition is part of freedom. One day, something small happens. A situation that used to trigger you doesn't. An opinion that used to shake you doesn't. A challenge that used to overwhelm you doesn't. That's when you realize you didn't become louder. You didn't become aggressive. You didn't become fake. You became rooted. You stopped chasing motivation. You stopped performing growth. You stopped seeking permission. You become calmer under pressure, slower to react, stronger in decisions. Your life stops feeling chaotic, not because it's easy, but because you're stable. Authentic self-belief is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand attention. It shows up quietly, in the way you move through life. And once it's built, nothing can take it from you. If you found this useful, subscribe for more powerful daily mindset videos. You're becoming stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you realize.